In the quiet corners of a seemingly ordinary home lies an ancient family heirloom, its porcelain surface concealing a malevolent spirit longing for revenge. Tonight, we unravel the chilling tale of a child's seemingly innocent doll that transforms into a vessel of terror. As whispers of a dark past echo through the shadows, can the child uncover the truth before the doll's sinister influence consumes them all? Prepare yourself for a journey into the unknown, where every move counts and the past never truly dies. Welcome to Fear Files.
In the small, fog-shrouded town of Millbrook, nestled among Victorian houses and winding cobblestone streets, 10-year-old Donnell Fraser awoke to a birthday surprise she had long awaited. The creaky old house she lived in with her parents, tucked away at the end of Hawthorne Lane, was filled with antique charm and the echoes of past generations. The gift was an antique doll, a delicate porcelain figure dressed in a faded floral gown with a lace bonnet. Its glassy eyes seemed to follow Donnell as she unwrapped it, an unsettling sensation that she brushed off as her imagination. The doll had come from a local antique shop, known for its collection of peculiar and sometimes macabre artifacts. Donnell's mother, Margaret, smiled as she placed the doll on a shelf in Donnell's room. "Isn't she beautiful, sweetheart? I thought she would be a lovely addition to your collection." As the days passed, Donnell began to notice strange occurrences. The doll's eyes seemed to shift when she wasn't looking, and whispers floated through the room at night. Shadows danced on the walls, taking on eerie shapes that seemed to come alive in the dark. Donnell tried to ignore these unsettling happenings, but a growing sense of dread clung to her. Determined to uncover more about her new doll, Donnell began researching at the local library. She stumbled upon old town records and newspaper clippings, discovering a disturbing story about the doll's original owner, Lily Harper. Lily was a bright and cheerful girl who lived in Millbrook in the 1920s. She was adored by her family and friends until a tragic incident took her life. According to the records, Lily had died under mysterious circumstances. Her death was ruled an accident, but whispers of foul play lingered. Her spirit, the townsfolk believed, had become restless and vengeful, bound to the doll that had once been her favorite possession. The more Donnell read, the more the doll's unsettling presence began to make sense. Lily's spirit, unable to find peace, had latched onto the doll, using it as a vessel to communicate and exact revenge on those who had wronged her. The whispers from the doll grew more insistent. It began to speak directly to Donnell in a soft, sibilant tone, revealing dark secrets about her family. It told her of hidden sins, unresolved conflicts, and betrayals. The doll's predictions of future events, initially dismissed as mere coincidence, became increasingly accurate and disturbing. One night, Donnell's father, Robert, woke to find the doll's eyes glowing faintly in the dark. He felt a chill in the room and heard the faint echoes of a child's laughter, mixed with a mournful cry. He dismissed it as a bad dream, but the unease persisted. As the doll's whispers became more intrusive, Donnell's family began to notice her increasing anxiety and fear. Margaret and Robert grew concerned about their daughter's erratic behavior and the strange occurrences around the house, but they couldn't bring themselves to part with the doll, convinced it was just a figment of Donnell's imagination. Donnell's nightmares became vivid and terrifying. In her dreams, the doll would come to life, its porcelain face twisted into a menacing grin. It would control her movements, forcing her to act out violent scenarios against her family and friends. These nightmares left her waking in cold sweat, trembling and frightened. The once beautiful doll now seemed to exude an aura of malevolence. It was as if Lily's spirit had taken complete control, using the doll to wreak havoc. Objects around the house began to move on their own. and unsettling noises filled the night. Donnell's parents, while still skeptical, grew increasingly worried as their home became a battleground for the doll's dark influence. Their attempts to confront and remove the doll only seemed to aggravate the spirit's rage. Desperate to end the torment, Donnell sought the help of a local historian and paranormal investigator, Mr. Gregory White. He was known for his expertise in local legends and supernatural phenomena. Mr. White agreed to visit the Fraser home, bringing with him an assortment of tools and protective charms. Upon examining the doll, Mr. White confirmed the presence of a powerful and vengeful spirit. He revealed that Lily's spirit was trapped in a cycle of anger and sorrow, unable to find peace. The doll had become a conduit for her rage, and until the truth was revealed and justice was served, the spirit would continue its reign of terror. With Mr. White's guidance, Donnell embarked on a journey to uncover the full story of Lily's tragic death. She discovered that Lily's death had been the result of a cruel prank by local children who had pushed her into the river, where she had drowned. The pranksters, unpunished and unrepentant, had contributed to the spirit's wrath. Determined to free Lily's spirit and end the doll's curse, Donnell, her parents, and Mr. White performed a ritual to lay the spirit to rest. They gathered in the dimly lit living room, surrounded by candles and ancient texts. As they began the ritual, the doll's eyes glowed brightly, and the room grew cold. Lily's spirit appeared, a spectral figure of a young girl with a sorrowful expression. The ritual's incantations and prayers filled the room with a powerful energy, and the air crackled with supernatural tension. In a climactic confrontation, Donnell spoke directly to the spirit, acknowledging the pain and injustice Lily had suffered. She offered an apology on behalf of those who had wronged Lily and expressed sympathy for her plight. The spirit, moved by Donnell's sincerity, began to calm, and the malevolent energy surrounding the doll dissipated. With a final mournful sigh, Lily's spirit departed, leaving the doll lifeless and cold. The once beautiful artifact was now a mere relic of its dark past. In the aftermath, the Fraser family's home slowly returned to normal. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, and the unsettling occurrences ceased. Donnell, forever changed by her experience, felt a profound sense of relief and closure. The doll was placed in a box and stored away, its curse lifted, but its memories lingering. The town of Millbrook returned to its quiet routine, but the story of Lily Harper and the doll would forever be remembered as a chilling reminder of the past's power to haunt the present. Donnell, now older and wiser, carried the lessons of her harrowing experience with her. She understood the importance of facing the past and seeking justice, knowing that some ghosts, though bound by objects, could only find peace through recognition and acknowledgement. Lily Peterson's birthday was a whirlwind of excitement, but the highlight of the day came wrapped in shiny paper and tied with a bright red bow. As she unwrapped the gift, her eyes widened in awe. The doll was lifelike, with porcelain skin and glassy blue eyes that seemed almost too real. Its vintage dress and delicate lace bonnet were charming, and Lily could hardly contain her joy. Her mother, Margaret, placed the doll on the shelf in Lily's room next to her other toys. "She's beautiful, Lily. I thought you'd like her." The first night with the doll was uneventful, but as days passed, Lily began to notice unsettling things. The doll would shift positions on its own, and whispers seemed to float through the room. The once comforting toy now gave Lily an uneasy feeling, but she tried to ignore it, chalking it up to her overactive imagination. Miss Lillian, as Lily named the doll, soon began to exhibit increasingly strange behavior. It seemed to demand constant attention, and Lily found herself spending more time with the doll than with her friends. The doll's presence became a focal point in Lily's life, overshadowing her social interactions and familial bonds. Lily's friends, who once filled her afternoons with laughter and games, noticed her growing obsession with the doll. They began to distance themselves, leaving Lily feeling isolated. The dolls seemed to manipulate Lily, whispering that her friends didn't care about her, and that she should focus solely on Miss Lillian. At home, Lily's parents grew concerned as they saw their daughter becoming withdrawn. Margaret tried to engage Lily in family activities, but Lily's focus remained solely on the doll. Tension grew as the doll's influence over Lily became more apparent. Miss Lillian's games took a dark turn. The doll began orchestrating accidents and near-harm experiences. Lily would find herself in precarious situations, tripping over objects, narrowly avoiding falls, and suffering minor injuries that seemed too frequent to be mere accidents. The doll's whispers became taunting and malicious, encouraging Lily to engage in dangerous activities and ignore the warnings of her concerned family. One night, Lily was convinced by the doll to play a game in which she had to climb a tree in the dark, leading to a near-fatal fall that left her shaken but still under the doll's spell. Lily's parents grew alarmed as they witnessed the increasingly bizarre and dangerous behavior. They sought help from a child psychologist, but Lily's insistence on the doll's innocence and her growing fear of losing it made it difficult for them to intervene effectively. Determined to understand the doll's disturbing behavior, Lily began researching at the local library and consulting old records. She uncovered the tragic story of Emily Thatcher, a child from the early 20th century who had died in a tragic accident. Emily was a lonely girl who had sought companionship through the doll, which had become a vessel for her restless spirit after her death. The more Lily learned about Emily's tragic end, the more she realized the doll's true nature. Emily's spirit, unable to find peace, had attached itself to the doll, using it to manipulate and control Lily in its desperate search for companionship. Armed with this knowledge, Lily felt a sense of dread and urgency. She knew she had to confront the spirit and find a way to break free from the doll's grasp before its malevolent influence consumed her entirely. Lily's fear and desperation reached a climax as the doll's influence grew stronger. The once innocent toy now seemed to exude an aura of malevolence, and the house was filled with an oppressive sense of dread. Lily's attempts to distance herself from the doll were met with increased hostility and dangerous incidents. With her family's support, Lily sought the help of a paranormal expert who specialized in restless spirits. The expert confirmed the presence of Emily Thatcher's spirit and explained that the only way to break the doll's curse was to confront the spirit and offer it the closure it needed. The confrontation was intense. Lily, her parents, and the paranormal expert performed a ritual to address Emily's restless spirit. As they spoke to the spirit, Lily expressed empathy and understanding, acknowledging Emily's pain and loneliness. After the ritual, the atmosphere in the house lightened, and the doll's malevolent influence seemed to dissipate. Miss Lillian, once a vessel of terror, was now just an ordinary doll. Lily's relationships with her friends and family began to heal, and the oppressive atmosphere that had plagued their home lifted. Lily kept Miss Lillian in a box, a reminder of the dark chapter she had overcome. The doll's cursed nature was a lesson in the importance of addressing and resolving emotional pain and the dangers of isolation. Lily emerged from the experience with a deeper understanding of empathy and the importance of genuine human connection. The once innocent toy had taught her a profound lesson about loneliness and the lengths to which one might go to seek companionship. The story of Miss Lillian and Emily Thatcher would forever remain a haunting reminder of the past's power to shape the present. Ella Thompson had always admired her great-aunt Clara's antique collection, but nothing captivated her quite like the elegant porcelain doll that arrived as part of her inheritance. Clara had passed away quietly in her sleep, leaving behind a legacy of fine antiques and curious artifacts. Among them was the doll, Annabelle. The doll was an exquisite piece, dressed in a Victorian gown with intricately detailed lace and ribbons. Its eyes, a deep, unsettling shade of blue, seemed almost too lifelike. Ella's mother, Elizabeth, placed the doll on a shelf in Ella's room, remarking, "It's a beautiful reminder of your great aunt." That night, Ella noticed something peculiar. The doll seemed to move on its own, and faint whispers filled the room. At first, she dismissed it as her imagination, but the strange occurrences persisted. The doll's eyes followed her movements, and cold drafts seemed to swirl around it, creating an unsettling atmosphere. As the days passed, the strange occurrences grew more pronounced. Ella's sleep was disturbed by whispers and eerie shadows that seemed to dance on the walls. Her once comfortable room now felt oppressive, and the doll's presence loomed over her. Determined to uncover the cause of the disturbances, Ella delved into her family's history. She discovered that Great Aunt Clara had been a guardian of dark secrets related to the doll. Through old letters and journal entries, Ella learned about Margaret Caldwell, the original owner of the doll. Margaret had been betrayed by her family in a tragic turn of events, leading to her untimely death. Ella's investigation revealed that Margaret's spirit had become bound to the doll, seeking revenge for the wrongs done to her. The betrayal had not only caused Margaret's demise, but had also left her spirit vengeful and restless, now manifesting through Annabelle. As the doll's influence grew stronger, it began to manipulate Ella's behavior. Ella found herself increasingly isolated from her friends and family, drawn into the doll's world of whispers and dark games. The doll seemed to demand attention, creating rifts between Ella and her loved ones. Ella's parents grew worried as their daughter became more withdrawn and unresponsive. The doll's malevolent presence escalated, leading to accidents and near-harmful incidents that seemed to target Ella's family. The doll's influence extended beyond Ella, creating an atmosphere of fear and distrust. Ella's once close relationships were strained as the doll's manipulative tactics drove her further away from those she cared about. The stakes were high as Ella struggled to maintain her sanity and protect her family from the doll's growing power. Desperate for answers, Ella sought the help of local historians and paranormal experts. She learned that the doll's curse was tied to Margaret Caldwell's tragic past. The spirit's vengeful nature was a result of the betrayal she experienced, and her anger had been transferred to the doll. The paranormal expert confirmed that the doll was indeed a vessel for Margaret's restless spirit. To break the curse, Ella needed to confront Margaret's spirit and address the injustices that had led to her anger. The expert provided guidance on how to perform a ritual to lay the spirit to rest. Ella faced the daunting task of confronting the spirit and uncovering the full truth behind Margaret's betrayal. The ritual required confronting the painful history and offering apologies for the wrongs done to Margaret, even though it was her ancestors who had wronged her. The doll's influence reached its peak as Ella prepared for the confrontation. The atmosphere in the house grew increasingly oppressive, with supernatural occurrences becoming more frequent and dangerous. Ella's family was on edge, and the urgency to resolve the situation became critical. With the help of the paranormal expert, Ella performed the ritual in a dramatic and tense sequence. The ritual involved facing Margaret's spirit, acknowledging the betrayal, and offering a heartfelt apology. The room was filled with an intense supernatural energy as the spirit was confronted. Margaret's spirit, though initially hostile, was eventually moved by Ella's sincerity. The confrontation was intense, with the spirit's anger and pain manifesting in powerful and terrifying ways. Ella's courage and empathy were tested as she sought to bring closure to the spirit and break the curse. After the ritual, the doll's malevolent influence ceased. Annabelle was no longer a vessel for Margaret's vengeful spirit, but remained a reminder of the past's haunting power. Ella's family began to heal from the trauma, and their relationships were restored. The once oppressive atmosphere in the house lifted, and the family found a renewed sense of peace. Ella's bravery and determination had not only protected her loved ones, but had also resolved the dark chapter of their family's history. The doll was kept as a historical artifact, a reminder of the past's impact on the present. Ella's experience underscored the importance of confronting and addressing unresolved conflicts to achieve closure and peace. The legacy of the doll became a testament to the strength required to face one's fears and protect those who matter most.
Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey into the heart of darkness. If you found yourself gripping the edge of your seat, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more spine-tingling tales. Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. What do you think lies beyond the shadows of Fear Files? Until next time, stay curious, stay brave, and remember, sometimes the past is closer than we think.